adding the warp threads to our loom. What I like to use for my warp thread is just a crochet thread, or a tatting thread, I believe it's called. Found it at a local retailer, a discount store, in their craft department. It comes lots of material for a low cost, and sometimes I will take the time to divide this out into what I think is going to be a proper length for each student, so we can have everybody kind of warping their loom at the same time. But for today I didn't do that. I'm just going to work right off of the ball. So what we need to do first is we need to tie, and I always work left to right. I don't know if there's any magic science behind that, but that's just what works for me. And I'm going to tie my thread onto the front pin, and I am going to tie it in a little bit of a knot just to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere on me, so that I don't lose it. Then I'm going to come up the side, and I'm going to loop from back to front around that pin that's on the side. Then I'm going to come straight down on the inside of those pins that were at the bottom, and I'm going to come up the back, and I'm going to go left to right around the pin on the taller piece, come straight down, and I'm going to go up then to my first pin on the front and go left to right around the pin, straight down until I'm on the back side again, left to right around the pin, to the front, left to right around the pin. And I'm going to keep doing this until I get all the way across my loom. And it's very important that you come straight down when you're doing this, because you want to make sure that your threads don't crisscross in the back. Now don't worry about this little tail, because we can always just get him to pull right out of there. But we want to do this kind of tight, but not so tight that you know, we're putting a death grip on it or anything, but we want to make sure it's nice and tight, not wobbly, and again that our pieces do not crisscross. Okay, I've come to the end of my loom. I've got all of my strings across the back, none crisscrossing. I come up to my last one, and well, if you remember at the beginning, I kind of fudged that extra one in. I really shouldn't have probably done that, because now I have one too many pins on that front side, so I just took one out. It's really not going to matter. We just want to make sure that we have equal amounts. Then I'm going to come back down around and inside those two pins at the bottom, and I'm going to end at this pin up at the top. So once you get to this point, go ahead and just cut your string off. And this one is always a little bit difficult to do. I always tell the kids you have to kind of be a little bit of an octopus, because we want to keep our thread fairly tight. But you're going to tie it around that pin again in a knot, so it's strong and sturdy and not going anywhere. You do want to kind of leave these tails 2-3 inches long. This one might be a little bit longer than we need to, because when we are weaving, we're going to start and we're going to tie it on to this one just to make sure that we've got our beginning yarn secured. And we get up to here, and when we finish and can't go any higher here, we're going to tie this to our yarn, and then we're going to just keep going just back and forth on this back piece and not going around like we had been doing before, so that this will create our flap. So at this point we have threaded our loom, so we can put our thread away. We're still going to need our scissors. We're finished using our ruler. We're finished with the glue and things like that.